friends, welcome back to my channel Stylist Creations, and I believe you all are doing great. If you're new to my channel, you're very warmly welcome. Just go ahead and subscribe so you can enjoy all the amazing projects over here. If you already subscribed to my channel, I'm sure you're already enjoying wonderful projects here. So our today project is also related with the sewing. As you can see, I have made a beautiful t-shirt quote on back of me. So today I'm gonna teach you specially how to make a t-shirt quote. I'm gonna take you through all the process from cutting to the using a fusible, then ironing your project and putting all those patches together. Let's go ahead and start it. First step, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna cut your t-shirts. I already have some stack over here. I already cut it, so you can use either scissor or your rotary cutter, but I will suggest you, if you're new to this quilt, t-shirt quilt, don't use this much because you have to first steady your hand. I'm gonna show you with the scissor first. So we're gonna start cutting from shoulder area and separate our sleeves. And stack your sleeves on one side. So you can use for cleaning, you can use for small patches. Right now I'm not using for anything. Right, and on other side you can do same thing too. All right, so the next thing, now you can use a rotary cutter here, use your ruler and just cut with the rotary cutter. But because we also have the print on a bag too, so we want to be careful, make sure we are not cutting it extra. So that's why I'm gonna cut separately my both shoulders. And we are just cutting roughly, because when we are cutting for patch, then we will be able to straighten them out. All right, now you can cut from here. All right, this is done, and the same way we're gonna cut our other side too. See that this bag is all the stash which I'm not gonna use it, you know. So that's all garbage. So I'm separating. Alright, so now you see that we have a cut shoulder and top area. So simply we're just gonna bring the both sides in a center like this. Right. And you can either use your rotary cutter or use a scissor to cut it. Okay, I'll just show you the scissor, the easiest way. That's it. And you see that how we simply cut our two patches. Now roughly I just gonna cut 17 longer before I add to my interfacing. Totally I need 13 by 13 patches, but I am doing large one because when we iron the t-shirt fabric, you don't know how it's gonna, you know, get wide or shrink. Okay, so we're just gonna mark roughly from here to here 17 inches by 17. All right, so in the same way we will cut our other patch as well, and the next step I'm gonna show you how to use a fusible interfacing. So if I show you, I have already prepared a couple patches with my interfacing, you know, and I already mentioned you I cut my patches big so I can get the perfect, you know, the square when I'm cutting. So for this project I'm using a P44F fusible interfacing. You can get that through Amazon, Etsy, or Joint Fabric, you know. My client had got this from Etsy because there was a good price. So for 12 patches I almost needed a 5-yard interfacing. And you see, as you can see, I hardly have just a little bit left for other two patches. So let's see how I gonna attach this interfacing with my patches. All right, so the first thing you need a very flat table for your ironing, because it's a t-shirt and we're gonna use interfacing, so we need a flat thing. All right, and the second thing, you should never ever iron on a top of the fabric, because this patch, you know, it's a paint, so you can damage this. So always iron on the back side of your patch. So first we're gonna straighten up our t-shirt patch, and then we will add interfacing. And I'm trying to have my settings on a cotton just to make sure that all the lines and wrinkles are gone. Okay. All right, now you can see it's a smooth. Now it's time to add our interfacing. So this interfacing, one side is like a bumpy, if you can feel through your fingers, you know, and the other side is smooth and plain. So the bumpy side, that's the gluing side, so that's what we're gonna attach with your patch. Okay, with the gentle hands. See that how nicely it is done. Okay, now we will cut the extra from side, and then we will give another, you know, quick iron on top. All right, we're gonna do one more time. All right, so now you see our patch is prepared to cut in a square. This is not gonna go anywhere, and that will help us to have a steady fabric when we are preparing our quilt. All right, so the next part is we're gonna cut our patches in a square. So the first thing, the main you have to know to do, just measure your all the, you know, the patches prints front. And I know I have a big prints, I have a small, but because I needed equal square patches, so I will first measure them all, you know, and then I will figure out how much big patch I need. So after measuring them all, I am on that point where I decided I needed 13 by 13 inches patches to cut out. So that will give me enough, you know, the space to cut and the stitch, and my, you know, the logos or um, you know, the print will be stayed in a center. So let's do on a one patch, and then you can repeat the same method over and over again. So there's a different type of you know, the square rulers in the market. Like I have here 9.5 by 9.5, you know. So if you want to make a patch 9 by half patch, you can just, you know, trace from here. I don't have a bigger one. There's even the bigger rulers in the market too. So simply I just gonna do that. First I gonna measure where's the center of my um, this logo. So see that how I'm measuring, and because I'm gonna cut the 13 inches and I still have a bottom fabric here. So I'm gonna simply increase 1 inch more on the top, and then I see I still have 1.5 inch on the bottom, and again gently I just gonna more move. So that's how I gonna find out that my logo is in center. All right, so we just gonna mark on the sides, just a little guideline. Okay, in the same way you're gonna see, so first you see the width of your pant. Like I have a 16.5 inches. All right, so by moving little bit over, and then you have to see the, you know, the width of your print, you know, the print. So mine is a 7 inches wide. Okay, so I just gonna keep this as a guideline. Okay, so if I increase here, then 8, you know, it's 1 inches here, 1 inch here extra. If I moved more here, 2 inches here and 2 inches on this side, and if I move 3 inches, and then I can have 13 inches. Okay, so see how you can easily manage it. You know, it's not a hard job. So that's how we're gonna mark here as well. Okay, so that's how you just dots, you know, your square, and now you're just gonna connect them together. But you have to make sure your all patches are equal on the same length, because that's how they're gonna make your quilt even. Okay, that's how you do it. Now you can use a rotary cutter, you can use a scissor to cut our patch. That's how you prepare your patch. You know, we're gonna prepare the next of other patches and then I will be back. All right, I have cut all my patches and now it's time to cut the fabric strips. I have this beautiful fabric here, and my plan is I gonna cut 3 inches wide strip, and that will be go around to our these t-shirts, you know. So I will cut 13-inch long for two sides. All right, and then the we will divide it the one long strip. So here's the layout of my all patches, and with the 3 inches wide strip, I just gonna sew all of them together, you know, make a one layer, other layer, and then fourth layer, and then sew all layers together. And then later I will prepare my border with the different fabrics, which will bring a more, you know, neatness to our this project. And then we will add the bedding, backing, and the binder. So keep watching this project. All right, we're gonna start sewing on a 1/4 inch distance or all block. See that? Now the second block we are adding. Just make sure your back, the blocks are on the right side, so that's how it's going to look like when we're stitching. Okay, so we're going to use the same technique with the other blocks, and then I will be back. All right, all my the layers of patches are ready. I had made 4 layers, and now the next part, before attaching with each other all those layers and other scrap in the center, we just gonna iron first. Normally we open the seams and then iron it, as you can see, but because we already have a use interfacing, so I gonna move my both sides inside of the cotton fabric strap. So that's how I gonna iron it. You see how I have ironed my 2 layers inside of my patch. Now simply we're just gonna sew them together, first this one and then this one, and I have 2 more, and after sewing them together and then other patch, and then I will sew together 2 pieces, and our quilt topper will be done. as you can see, the top of the quilt is beautifully done. Now the next step which I needed to do is just to add backing, bedding, and the binder on the sides, which steps I already have shown in my other sewing videos. I will try to put a link on the description box, so stay tuned until I show you the full finished project. I really want to show you back of my quilt before I add bedding and backing. So if you notice, all my seams from my t-shirt patches outside, so I have ironed all those t-shirt patches into the fabric straps we have, because the cotton fabric is lighter than the t-shirt, so that's why we don't want to make too much bulky, so that's why when you prepare a t-shirt quilt, you have to make sure you are following this step. And the other thing which I have did, I already have a lay my backing, on my table, then that's my bedding. I also have did a light iron by putting the cotton fabric on the top, so I can get away from all the the wrinkles. Now the final part is I gonna flip my quilt topper, and we're gonna keep smoothing, like we have a smooth our bedding area, and then our project will be continue. The next thing which you have to make sure you're smoothing out all your patches, like one by one, and bringing out all the wrinkles and lines, whatever. That's why I'm doing on my dining table. It's a big enough so I can use this. But if you have a small table, you can do half and half, but you have to make sure your surface should be flattened. I can do on a carpet, but carpet have still softness, so that's what I'm doing on a table. So as you can see, almost our the three layers look nice together. The other step is I just gonna pin up. So my plan is I gonna stitch in the ditch around these blocks. So I will try to put my pins away from my stitching parts, so in that way I will have easy access, and now I no need to remove the pins. So let's do it. And as you can see, our today sewing projects turned out very nicely. If you really like our today projects, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel Stylist Creations. Feel free to share with your family and friends so I can hit more subscribers. Don't forget to hit the bell icon button so you can get further updates about my channel. God bless you all. Be safe wherever you are. Love you all. Bye bye.